Welcome to News Tonight. My name is Patricia Lukoma and Mugalu Mohammed is with us already on sign language. But first though, let's look at the top stories. Museveni and First Lady Janet Museveni meet to restore international fisheries. UPDF reunites Congolese women and children with their mother. Uganda to host 2024 ITF Men's World Tennis Tour M25 and M15. Welcome once again now into the bulletin. President Yoweri Museveni and the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, have welcomed plans by Restore International to establish a university and open a giraffe sanctuary in Amoro district. Restore International, also known as Love Does, is a non-profit organization founded by Robert Kendall Goff, an American lawyer and the United States Honorary Consul to Uganda. Active in Uganda since 2006, and the organization's mission is to restore love and justice. Restore International currently operates a Restore Leadership School in Amoro District, Lamoge Sub-County, where 7th corner on Juba Road. This school includes nursery, primary and secondary levels, serving over 1,500 students. The meeting was also attended by key education of the Minister of State for Higher Education, Dr. J.C. Muyingo, and then the Education Ministry Permanent Secretary, Dr. Kadres Turiagenda, then the National Council for Higher Education's Executive Director, Professor Mary Akwakwol, and then Timothy Sejoba, Acting Commissioner, University Education and Training, and then Dr. Patrick Atimendi, Senior Manager, Veterinary Services at Uganda Wildlife Authority, among others. A delegation from Restore International paid a courtesy call to the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, at State House, Nakasero. They updated her on the progress of establishing a university in Amoro district.
Delegation from Restore International paid a courtesy call to the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, at State House Nakasero. They updated her on the progress of establishing a university in Amoro district. Taking time from his busy schedule, the President met with the team, expressed support for both the university and wildlife conservation sanctuary projects. He emphasized the importance of sustainable financing for the education initiative.
Well, thank you so much. That sounds good, because both programs, the education and the conservation, are very good programs. The children are many, they want to study.
Regarding the role of higher education in national development, President Museveni explained that socio-economic transformation requires an educated, skilled, and healthy workforce. Mama Janet Museveni expressed appreciation for Dr. Robert Goff and his team's choice to work in northern Uganda, an area that suffered from the Lord's Resistance Army insurgents for years. She thanked them for initiating Restore University local secondary students to pursue higher education.
So we want to thank you, not just for bringing hope to many, but choosing to bring hope to the hopeless in a rural area.
Dr. Robert Goff noted that this marks Restore International's 20th year in Uganda, adding that they envision the university and giraffe sanctuary as part of their enduring legacy.
But we expect really big things to come out of Amuru District.
Yeah.
And as Jody said, we want that place known not as a place of war, but as of higher education. And kind of like Jesus, when they said, what can come out of Nazareth, want to say what can come out of Amuru District are graduates.
Executive Director of Restore International Lavdas explained that while the organization operates in 14 countries, its largest presence in Uganda, they run schools, women's resource centers, and various other programs including refuge, prison and field initiatives.
We believe very strongly in education and view it as a very effective tool to create peace and opportunities. We will begin construction in March of 2025, and that hopefully will open admissions in July of 2026. And it would be our great honor to open our campus to students in September of 2027. We consider it a very worthwhile investment into northern Uganda. A place previously known for conflict might be known for progress and what's possible.
Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Now, President Yoweri Museveni has lauded the private entrepreneurs in the education sector for complementing government efforts in their endeavors. The president's message was delivered by Vice President Jessica Alupo while presiding over the 9th graduation ceremony of the University of Kisubi.
Vice President of Uganda, Jessica Alupo, officiated the graduation ceremony at Kisubi University, where over 200 students graduated in various disciplines. The Vice President, who represented President Yoweri Museveni at the function, first toured different student stalls exhibiting students' innovations. The Chancellor University of Kisubi, Brother Cassio Isire, noted that the institution has registered significant progress since its inception in 2004.
Your Excellency, we thank the RN government for several initiatives to ensure equal opportunities for all Ugandans to attain higher education. Among these initiatives is the Students' Loan Scheme for higher education for qualified students who would otherwise miss the chance to achieve university or tertiary education due to financial challenges.
The leadership of the university appreciated support from government in supporting its mandate of academic excellence. The graduates have been advised to desist from dubious acts that might tarnish their image.
The beginnings as you enter the world of work may be challenging, but with consistency and persistency, you will measure the challenge.
Minister of State for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, who represented the Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, emphasized research in higher institutions of learning, especially in science.
What we urge you to keep the trend going upwards. The government of Uganda expects to see more research and publications taking place at universities. And I want to thank you for what I've seen before the ceremony started from behind there.
The Vice President, Jessica Alupo, who represented the partnership with privately owned institutions to invest in better quality education.
The NRM's DNA is to partner with private individuals, organizations and institutions to provide services and develop our people. We can do more together because each has a role to play, and the synergy generated from the team is much more than what an individual or one group can achieve. Therefore, I thank the Catholic Church and the Brothers of Christian Instruction and working with my government to develop our country, Uganda. The role you have played over the years, especially in education, health,
He congratulated the university upon a number of successes registered since its inception and pledged support to the university for more innovations.
I therefore congratulate the university on using the allocated resources appropriately, unlike some institutions that engage in corrupt tendencies and abuse the resources allocated to them. The ongoing research and innovations at the university have attracted my attention because they align with the NRM Manifesto and the Vision 2040, which aims to transform Uganda from a peasant society to a prosperous country.
The University of Chisubi, which enrolls students in a number of courses at diploma, degree and master's level, has plans to roll out nursing courses in the coming years. Mario Nawori and Sula Kagugube for UBC.
Now, stakeholders in water, sanitation and hygiene have asked government to triple the WASH budget in order to address challenges associated with lack of water and poor hygiene. Speaking during the first roundtable meeting with the WASH stakeholders, Speaker of Parliament Annette Anita Mong advised Ministry of Water to test the levels of hygiene of water as they dig boreholes in different parts of the country.
Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Water, Sanitation and Hygiene officials from Ministry of Health, Education and Development partners on WASH have held an engagement has support to implement recommendations made during several of their meetings. The patron, Parliamentary Forum on Water, Sanitation and Hygiene, Silas Agon, said currently the situation of WASH in schools and health facilities is appalling.
To help us through the mandate of Parliament, because some of the matters out there need legislation. Other matters need budget attention, budgetary. Others, oversight.
The Commissioner, Department of Environmental Health at the Ministry of Health, Dr. Nabasa Habat, says the budget for WASH takes only 3% of the national budget, emphasizing that the burden of disease is big, hence the need for prioritization in planning.
For instance, a few indicators of disease burden. One is diarrhea. We are talking about the under 5 mortality, for instance, where you have about 20,000 children dying every year due to diarrheal diseases. We are talking about malaria as a result of WASH. Malaria is a WASH problem because of bushes, because of the breeding sites and the vectors that breed as a result of poor WASH intervention. So the recent report that we have, or study that we did about the cost of inaction, is that we are losing about 4 trillion every year as a result of lack of attention to WASH. Access to safe water, access to hygiene and sanitation.
In education sector, the Director Basic and Secondary Education, Ismail Molindwa, had this to say.
We need really to address the issue head-on and increase or come up with a specific cost center on the capitation grant, which is meager, so that the issues of WASH can be addressed. Right, Honourable Speaker, the situation is really dire in terms of water, in terms of MHM, so many of us who don't have incinerators.
The Speaker of Parliament, Annette Anita Among, emphasized the issue of creating awareness among the communities in hospitals, assuring stakeholders in WASH that Parliament will support legislations and appropriations towards their cause.
Put boreholes almost everywhere. They've really given us water. But even when they are giving us water, I want also to advise you that maybe when you dig a borehole, you need to test the level of the hygiene of that water. As Parliament of Uganda, we will give you our unwavering support towards that, towards legislating for the laws that help us in WASH.
I'm Nafka Farid and Gloria Gutabinji at Parliament.
Uganda's Vision 2040 aims to transform the country from a predominantly low-income society to a competitive middle-income nation. This was revealed by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Robina Nabanja, during an official opening of the 30th International Trade Fair at Uganda Manufacturers Association, Lugogo Showgrounds.
While speaking to manufacturers at Lugogo Showgrounds, Prime Minister Robina Nabanja urged the manufacturers to embrace the culture of quality in order to thrive in a global market as a way of overcoming the challenge to market access.
Manufacturing plays a crucial role in reducing Uganda's reliance on imported goods, enhancing our self-sufficiency, and positioning the country as a competitive player in regional and global markets.
The manufacturers acknowledge government's support and innovations that have prioritized manufacturing as a growth driver, and requested government to address the audit delays that affect the manufacturing sector.
Uganda manufacturing sector has become a cornerstone of the economy, with over 7,000 active and operational industries. This sector is the largest contributor to the GDP.
Awards were given to the best exhibitors, including Professor Bioresearch, Mesha Steel Uganda of Lydia Mwesigwa, Euroform, among others.
It means a lot to us as Mesha Steel workers and as Ugandans. It is something that shows we have quality work, we have standard work. It shows that we are also adding a brick to this nation.
Euroform and now Spring Stall, we are excited. People are coming very many. We are glad we were given an award for being of a sponsor. We appreciate and encourage everyone to come, still on until the 10th. Come and experience.
Around, we decided to push all women activities through guidance, sharing experience, and they have appreciated the guidance and also the financial support we have given them, so that we can groom a new generation of young people who can also step up in the footsteps of Mukenku Funyansi Julius and Prof. Bioresearch.
The Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, Bubu initiative has been a cornerstone of this effort, promoting consumption of locally manufactured products and fostering pride in Uganda and Ugandan made goods.
Winnie Ainembabazi Katwire and Joel Vubia for UBC.
Now, Uganda is set to celebrate its 62nd independence anniversary on Wednesday, 9th October 2024 in Masafu sub-county, Busia. Celebrating the significant development in service delivery, Minister of State for Kampala, Fatogabye Kabuye, announced the upcoming celebrations during a media briefing at Uganda Media Center in Kampala.
Preparations are underway, with various activities already taking place as the country gears up for celebrations to mark her 62nd independence anniversary. These celebrations will showcase Uganda's progress since gaining her independence from British colonial rule.
They no longer die of preventable diseases and they are attending school free of charge. Infrastructure has tremendously improved. The total tarmac road network has increased 5-fold, including the one which you guys are going to use of Musita, Mayuge, Namayingo to Busia. Electricity shortages are no more. Instead, the country is exporting surplus power to the neighboring countries. Telecommunications has improved. Almost today, every Ugandan is holding a phone. They contributed to the continental and regional peace, security, and stability. The National Independence Medal Diamond Jubilee will be given to 30 members, medalists. The Luweero Triangle Medal, this one is very important.
A key highlight of the celebrations will be commissioning of the Chira vehicle plant by President Yoweri Museveni. Chira vehicle plant is one of the cornerstones of Uganda's industrialization.
39 Kayura buses have been produced, of which 27 of them are electric, and these have also accumulated so far 600,000 kilometers in operational experience. What does this mean? It means that it has underscores Uganda's commitment to reducing all carbon emission and promoting sustainable urban transport.
This year's Independence celebrations will be under the theme Independence Day, Recommitment to Secure and Fortify Our Destiny. This year's celebrations will be held at Buseko Primary Teachers Grounds, Masafu Town Council in Busia District. Kayan Faith for UBC.
Now, news just in indicates that President Yoweri Museveni has directed officials of the Wildlife Authority to stop charging Ugandan travelers fees at Machishon Falls National Park following the closure of Karuma Bridge that is to be rebuilt. The Karuma Bridge has been the main gateway linking northern sub-region, including West Nile, and to the rest of the country. The President's directive follows a concern by some of the members of Parliament from northern Uganda. The directive says it was raised by the chairperson of the NRM Parliamentary Caucus, who is also the government chief whip, Honorable Hamson Obua, at the NRM caucus meeting with President Yoweri Museveni this evening at State House in Entebbe. The meeting was convened by the national chairman of NRM, President Museveni, to discuss matters of national importance. President Museveni therefore directed the Vice President, Right Major Jessica Alupo, to convene a meeting next week to be attended by officials from the Tourism Ministry.
We salute you, sir, for that. But they also are raising the issue of so many traffic of cars on both sides. The queue is too long and the time for waiting. On the side of the park, Your Excellency, they are humbly requesting you that if it pleases you, they know Karoma has primarily been the major gateway to the north. They are requesting an alternative route through the park. If it pleases you, Your Excellency, people are still paying. Those who are tourists are paying. Even Ugandans who should have passed through Karoma are paying. The point they request to you, sir, is to consider waiving the fee for any car that should have primarily used Karoma. But if Obua is going with his family through that route, but is not aiding to a jury, but is aiding there as a tourist, then Obua must pay. So you
in the park, they are not used to very many vehicles, especially the big ones, the big lorries, that, and I can suspect there may be common sense in it, that from when that park was created, big vehicles never passed there. It is only the small ones. Now that these animals, when they see a big structure, they run away, they fear, because they are not used. So therefore, I would invite the Minister of Tourism to call the MPs from those areas, and because this is our industry of tourism. If it is true that these animals fear, which I think may be true, they fear the big vehicles when it comes, because animals they are not rational. they react by instinct. So size to an animal which has never seen a big vehicle may affect it.
Now, Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF, has handed over a group of Congolese nationals to the armed forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, FARC. These Congolese were previously rescued from the ADF rebels in Biakato in DRC and have completed their medical treatment and rehabilitation at Mohoti Hospital. The group includes women and children who were rescued by the joint military operations conducted by FARC and UPDF in the jungles of eastern DRC.
Women and children who were rescued from the ADF rebels were officially handed over to FARC forces in Beni, in Democratic Republic of Congo, to reunite with their families.
Together with my counterpart, Dr. Cloud from DRC, today we are handing over the 13, one of the abductees, the 13 who have improved, and now I want to hand over to the management of the other side.
The rescue efforts is done by the joint military operation between Uganda People's Defense Forces, UPDF, and the Armed Forces of the Democratic Republic of Congo, FARC.
Yes, how? Ugandans, they have to come back home. The Congolese, if they are brought to Uganda, like those ones who were brought by the chopper, we meet the authorities, like this one of the last group. They were handed over to the general who is in charge of North Kivu. And he received them and he took them back.
Congolese women and children who were flown to Mohoti Hospital have been receiving treatment and rehabilitation services from UPDF medics.
Nous sommes venus ici pour récupérer nos compatriotes congolais capturés par les ADF et libérés par les deux armées FARDC et UPDF. Et nous les ramenons chez nous pour la poursuite de leur prise en charge globale.
We coordinate if they are rescued from our areas and they are not wounded. We get in touch with the local leaders and they are handed over formally. We call the leaders, we talk to them, we give the history of their rescue, and then they are handed over to their people.
The return of these women and children is a significant step towards the healing and reconciliation process done by the joint forces of UPDF and FARC forces in Eastern DRC.
Yeah, first of all, I have to thank His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, and then His Excellency the President of the Republic of Democratic Republic of Congo for coming out with this initiative to rescue the people who are suffering in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. It was through their initiative which brought we, the military, on board.
The UPDF and FARC joint military operation has been successful in rescuing many women and children from the jungles in the 4 sectors of the operations. The rescued individuals receive medical attention from the military hospital, food, rehabilitation services to help them reintegrate into their communities. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Well, thank you very much there, Haruna Mutesasira, for that detailed report. Now, it has been joy and excitement among the communities of Kirema in Semuto as the NRM Deputy Secretary General Rose Namayanja commissioned the St. Mark Kirema Kufu Senior Secondary School in Nakaseke District. The school comes at a time when the new lower secondary school curriculum demands for more facilities of this type.
It has been a momentous day in Kirema Village, Semuto Sub-County in Nakaseke District as the NRM Deputy Secretary General Rose Namayanja commissioned a new school in the names of St. Mark Kirema Kufu Senior Secondary School.
This school was promised by the President way back during the war, and it was struggling to see that actually our dream is actualized. And thank God today, the dream has come true.
Namanja has been accompanied by, among others, the resident district commissioner Nakaseke, Rosemary Byabasaicha.
We want to thank the community for their enthusiasm, for the support to the district leadership and the local leadership, and for supporting this school plus the Church of Uganda.
Namanja notes that this is in line with government's policy of having a secondary school in every sub-county.
To thank the President of Uganda because today we are here commissioning St. Mark Chiremakufu Secondary School. It is a government school, and in this sub-county we now have two schools. We have Kaloke Christian High School, where government spent over 2.8 billion. It's a seed school, and now we have Chiremakufu as another secondary school because of the historical contribution that this parish and this sub-county played. Whereas the policy is one school per sub-county, here we want to thank the President because we have two schools.
The event was graced by a section of dignitaries and guests.
Our parents here have been having a big problem. Send their children to faraway schools. The nearest secondary school here is now Kaloke, that is a government-aided school, which is about 80 miles away. I'm not talking about kilometers, I'm talking about miles. And we have Kapeka Secondary School, which is 5 miles away from here. So it is very difficult for most of our children to make it that far.
Today we've been commissioning the first phase of Chiremakufu Secondary School. This school was pledged by His Excellency Kaguta Museveni. Kufu as a place, it is both historical and political. And I thank the government because it has done its part, bringing the education services near to the people, so the parents have to do their part.
This achievement showcases collaboration, investment and commitment to education by governments. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
And happenings, police Friday morning today apprehended 2 youth who were carrying placards protesting construction of the East African crude oil pipeline, EACOP. The individuals, part of a group of 3 from the Justice Movement, Uganda, were arrested near the European Union Ambassador's office at Crested Towers in Kampala. In recent months, several youths have been arrested for their involvement in protests against Uganda's EACOP and the ongoing multi-billion-dollar oil and gas projects.
Stop people! Stop people! Stop people! My climate change activist. I know about all this. I know about this. We are Ugandans. No one is going to stop us. Even police that is coming is a direct person that is going to also be affected by this. Even if police comes, we are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are Ugandans that are dealing with this. We are not violent. We are not violent, and we have not come to put down police, or we have not come down to do anything bad. We are Ugandans that need justice. We've come to the European Union headquarters in Uganda, and all we are asking for is actions we've written to them on this dangerous oil pipeline. We are telling him to stop sponsoring. We are no. Why should we think that this? Are they yours? Are they yours? We came to the European Union. We came to the European Union. Not you. Not you. What? No, we can't. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. Whatever you do, I'm not. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. Leave my placard. Leave my placard. I'm not oppressed. I am not oppressed, and I am oppressed in Uganda. We are not. We are not. I have written to him physically. They should answer.
Uganda fire! Endiva fire! Our border fire!
Uganda! The
looking for sharp. As Uganda Crane showed Congo why number is called a Katiro. Mayuwa wa mobili Gamuli Joe. Katika Uganda Crane 6 South Sudan on the 11th of October. Bring more fire and support even harder Nambole. Dial *165*20# or go to buy ticket on the Momo app to get your discounted ordinary ticket at 20k on Momo. And it comes with a free train ride to Nambole. Cash is 25k. Camp starts at 7 p.m. The first 2 nail special beers go for 1k each when you buy with Momo at MTN Gavut Day. Uganda Cranes Fire! MTN Fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda's football. Together, truly unstoppable.
Hey kids, we're going to count today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Enjoy 5 ways to love your baby, smoothen and protect your baby's skin with 5 new gentle formulations. Original to nurture your baby, aloe vera to protect your shibubu skin, cocoa butter to comfort your pinku, mild scent to soothe your little one, and avocado to soften your bunju skin. Available in all supermarkets, retail shops, and cosmetics shops near you. Move it, baby jelly. All day confidence.
To help businesses recover from the impact of COVID-19,
government introduced a tax amnesty through a waiver of interest and penalty on outstanding principal tax as at June 30th, 2023. Accordingly, URA has since July 2024 been implementing this waiver. To benefit, simply pay your outstanding principal tax by December 31st, 2024, and the waiver is applied automatically upon payment confirmation. This amnesty applies to domestic taxes, namely income tax, rental tax, payee, and others. Grab this golden opportunity today. For more, use the platforms displayed.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Indomie Instant Noodles is available in 3 flavors of chicken, beef, and vegetable. Buy your Indomie Instant Noodles in supermarkets and dukas near you anywhere across Uganda. Indomie Instant Noodles, Uganda's best loved noodles.
Welcome back now into the world of business. Minister of State for Higher Education, Chrysostom Moyengo, has announced that starting next academic year, licensing will no longer be conducted physically, but through the Education Management Information System (EMIS) platform. He revealed this during an EMIS sensitization engagement with private school heads and teachers held at Nakasero Primary School.
Before 2017, the Ministry of Education relied on manual data collection. Schools would fill out paper forms, which were prone to errors and often delayed submission, hindering the timely processing of crucial education data. The old EMIS developed by a foreign donor faced limitations in making timely modifications. In September 2022, the ministry rolled out a locally developed EMIS system, streamlining data entry, and currently over 13.3 million learners are registered on this platform. 99% of government schools have uploaded their data on this system. However, only 50% of private schools have embraced EMIS. The Education Ministry has stressed that transition to EMIS is mandatory for all schools in the country, both for government and the private.
So, I want people to take this exercise very seriously and please comply with the system. By the way, it is very important that the public knows that whether the child is in a private school or private or public, all those children belong to the country called Uganda, and Uganda government has a duty to plan for all of them.
For government schools, the ministry now bases funding, including capitation grants, on the data submitted. Schools that fail to upload data will not receive financial allocations, according to the ministry.
If you don't have evidence of a learner, for secondary, you don't get any release. For primary, you get 450,000. Because for primary, there is a fixed cost. You have an allocation of 1.35 million. EMIS is supposed to inform our planning. We're supposed to get accurate, up-to-date information on the number of learners we have, the number of teachers, the books in the schools, the classrooms, all the facilities. So we hope that EMIS will be information for budgeting.
All the information about the children, about the schools, people, we need that information uploaded on the EMIS.
Minister Migo notes that effective next academic year, school licensing and registration will exclusively be conducted via EMIS system.
Starting with the next academic year for calendar, all licensing and registration of private schools and institutions shall be carried out on the Education Management Information System, EMIS.
So what the ministry has done is actually deploy 52 EMIS support officers, and these officers have been clustered in local governments.
Crispus Arinitwe, UBC News.
The government has suspended signing memorandums of understanding with non-state agriculture organizations due to breaches of previous agreements. Dr. Patience Remy, Commissioner at the Ministry of Agriculture, revealed that over 100 organizations ceased communication after signing. He disclosed this at the National Agriculture Extension Week 2024 launch in Kampala.
Non-state actors have expressed concerns over the delayed renewal of their previously signed agreements.
Even with the expiry of the Memorandum of Understanding that UFAS had with the Ministry of Agriculture and Industry and Fisheries, we have it renewed so that we are able to have that strong relationship and bond together, so that we are able to be accountable to the ministry, and then we can also cross-check with the ministry what they have also set out in the MOU as non-state actors.
In response, Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industry and Fisheries revealed that the signing was halted due to violation of the previous agreements by non-state.
I think it was about 143 MOUs. But out of that, less than 10 of these organizations were voting back to the ministry. After signing, they disappeared. So I don't think that the ministry halted this process because we were wondering what is the value. We have come, we have agreed, and in the MOU you are supposed to report to us what you are doing, and you don't report.
This has seemingly resulted in unproductive non-state agriculture organizations after they failed to identify their roles in given institutions.
Without this memorandum of understanding, it becomes very difficult on whose role is which role. and eventually you find yourselves maybe conflicting with one another in terms of role sharing. But once you have an MOU, then it makes it very clear on your work, your responsibilities that are supposed to be assigned to you, as well as accountability for the work that you
called for a review of the extension bill to regulate extension services.
We have AES providers being accredited for us to be able to manage the quality control aspect, so that there is no masquerading, there is no free entry and exit as it is at the moment.
There's no coordination amongst the actors. If I feel organic agriculture is the best, I will go in and talk to the farmers about organic. The same farmer will receive the same message from a fertilizer company. The same farmer will receive a lot more messages.
So the ministry has to play that role of coordinating, regulating, and so on, and can give, can outsource other services to other organizations. And I see that it was.
This was at the National Agriculture Extension Week launch in Kampala, organized by Uganda Forum for Agriculture Advisory Services, aimed to boost the quality services in the country. Oko Joseph, UBC.
Investors in Kapeka Industrial Park have expressed their gratitude to President Yoweri Museveni for his continued support in fostering industrial growth and job creation in Uganda. Let's hear more in this report.
The Ugandan government has continued to invest in poverty reduction through programs like Parish Development Model, Operation Wealth Creation and the Myoga, while also expanding industries to create jobs and world-class product for Ugandans. Liaoshen Industrial Park in Kapeka now produces tiles, shoes, food products, and assembles motorbikes, among many other things.
In 9 years, not a long time, they have already translated the idea into reality. I want to thank General Saleh and also thank the Chinese investors. Thank you so much. So I want to thank General Saleh for his foresight in getting this land, which came in handy when we wanted where to put an industrial park. Now, regarding the products which are being produced here, we are going to protect them by tax. I don't know why that should be a problem.
Today, Liaoshen Industrial Park has become a significant player in Uganda's economy, producing high-quality goods. This year, the park is holding an expo to showcase its products to the public. The managing director of Zhang's group of companies, Zhang Hao, told UBC that their primary request to the government was for land to develop industries that would create jobs and drive economic transformation. He thanked President Museveni for his support, highlighting the success of the first phase of the industrial park's development.
Week, I thanked for the president. You know, that is really for trusting. The president, at least for beginning, you know, when we're discussing with the president trust me. So let me to try to start. And you know, Kapeka, this area is different image. Is the president is from beginning is over 30 years dream. They always say the Kapeka be changed to industrial city.
Zhang also expressed his gratitude to the president for trusting him to transform Kapeka from barren land into what is now poised to become Kapeka's industrial city. Looking forward, Zhang announced plans to open another factory in Manafwa in the coming months, focusing on the development of state-of-the-art facilities to process Uganda's natural resources. Zhang confirmed that a list of investors is ready to support these efforts, awaiting further government encouragement to create more jobs for Ugandans.
It's because this is first phase, just finishing. I already mentioned with the excellence about the second phase, 1 square mile, is going to start in next year. I already give the big gift to the president. We're going to start in the second park, Liaoshen Industrial Park, is the Manafwa district.
Zhang emphasized the importance of Buy Uganda, Build Uganda initiative and shared his focus on meeting international standards to expand Ugandan product to European markets.
And what is give the person the jobs and also making the water chain in Uganda. So you need to have Uganda production. And later, maybe right now we are touching the Uganda market, East African market. Later, we're going to touching the international market, the world market. So that is the thing, what is happening for all of the country for beginning. So Uganda is just on the first stage.
The Uganda Money Lenders Association has appointed a new executive team to address the impact of unlicensed lenders whom they claim are tarnishing the industry's reputation. Unlicensed lenders are reportedly charging exorbitant interest rates, often resulting in borrowers losing their assets when they cannot repay their loans.
All our members who are in money lending to regularize their business and then get licensed.
The Executive Secretary, Uganda Money Lenders Association, Medad Muganzi, has pledged a collaborative effort with the Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority to regulate unauthorized lenders.
There are money lenders who are actually doing business legally. Their transactions are so transparent, and when you go to them, they are paying taxes, they are employing people. It's okay. So our role now as a new executive is to ensure that we encourage our members, those who are in money lending business, please regularize your business, get license, do your transactions properly.
He says under the Tier 4 Microfinance Institutions and Money Lenders Act of 2016, all money lenders are required to be licensed. Those failing to comply, he warned, will face legal consequences.
In every organization, there's always going to be that 80-20 rule, okay, the Pareto principle. That 20% will usually do 80% of the what? Of the work. So that can also be there in our committee, in our interim committee.
Speaking at the occasion's annual general meeting at Hotel Africana recently, Muganza reiterated the executive's commitment to work closely with the government to restore order within the sector.
There's a time they arrested money lenders in Yatondi over some issues, and one simple phone call released all of them. And I was summoned by the RDC and I told them point blank.
One of the association members, Jonan Akandwanaho, confirmed that the new leadership will support licensed money lenders and improve their operating environment.
We commit that we shall not let you down. We shall do all that we can, enter offices that are wherever possible to make sure that the lending industry is cleaned up, one, but also to work with the government to make sure that the legit lenders get
the newly elected team includes Christine Birungi as Vice Chairperson, Cyprian Kavera as Coordinator, Dedan Mutatina as Treasurer, Norbert Mugisha Alnitwe as Public Secretary, and Belata Muntu as Compliance Secretary. Regional representatives are Rogers Katureve for Central, Ruhinda for Western, and Okothie Yoluk for Eastern Sudat. Kaye, UBC News.
I know where my strength lies.
In the area of revenue collection, Kotido and Kabong districts and Karamoja sub-region have registered a decline in revenue collection due to insecurity. The concerns over the suppressed service delivery arises from the decline in revenue collection that was raised by the leaders from the two districts.
And Kabong district in Karamoja sub-region are grappling with challenges of poor service delivery arising from reduction in revenue collections in the two districts. The concern was raised by leaders from the two districts during monitoring and government activities by the office in charge of monitoring government programs, Teso and Karamoja sub-region. According to the leaders, the decline in revenue collection has been occasioned by in the region.
Now, most of the cattle traders who used to come to this market are from Acholi, are from Sudan, and even Kampala. Now, By the closure of that road, they affected the market. Most of the businessmen now prefer to go to other markets because passing Soroti to Moroto, then coming to Kotido became a very long route for them. And so I have lost those traders and the local revenue has dropped.
According to the district, the revenue collection from Kanawat cattle market has dropped from 10 million weekly to 700,000, thus affecting council operations.
These days we collect almost about, might be 700, 800, and that is a lot of drop. It even affected my operations at the council. There are some things are not implemented because local revenue dropped. How I wish that decision could be lifted.
Kotido District LC5 chairperson Paul Lote Komol says even cattle traders are no longer able to access rural markets, which is affecting their local government.
It has affected us, even me as a district chairman. There are markets outside the district, outside the municipality, where businessmen came from through Abimi Road. Because they have closed Abimi Road, if there is a local government which is poor, it is us, Kotido District. So these small markets outside there, now traders are fair to come. I would like
to add my voice that we want to share with the division commander so that this road is open so that we're able to collect local revenue to run services for the population of here in Kotido.
Chief Administrative Officer Andrew Milton Chelangat revealed that only 168 million shillings was realized out of the initial 267 million that they had planned to collect as a revenue for financial year 2023-2024.
And we were unable to collect 99 million. So our percentage collection was 63%. The low collection was caused by our taxpayers resist paying taxes. And then coupled with insecurity also. Percentage performance was at 98%.
The officer in charge of monitoring of government activities, Teson Karamoja, Lieutenant General Peter Ilwelu, promised to work towards the restoration of security in the area.
For the road which had been closed due to insecurity, so I am going to talk to the division commander and whoever is responsible to open up this Abim Road, because now the situation has changed. Sure, Kotido needs money. They need revenue to do their work. And the district have gone. I've been just talking to them what to do, but there are issues that I will not disclose here that we shall sort out with their appointment. I will give my report on my findings in all these other districts, but they are not good. They are not good, but the problem is also it comes from the headquarters, from the ministries. What they are doing here is not good for the people and for the country.
Nonetheless, he reminded the civil servants and politicians to stick to their role to serve and desist from corruption.
As you run around, put a hotel here, put a school here, put this, and these are my fears. Remember, this is yours. The rest, before you are even buried, people are fighting. I will take this house. Me, I will take his clothes. Me, I will take the vehicle. That's why it's better to do the right thing. Do it, and when you leave. Because at the end of them, they will, when you are going for judgment, they say, "Now you see."
Well, it's time for us to take a short break and return with our sports news.
It is wow the public with their performances. But many of them suffer from several complications ranging from physical ailments like injuries, but worst of all, emotional distress. To ensure that especially the latter doesn't have their effects on them, the Olympic Committee's Athletes Commission has organized a 2-day workshop purposely to tutor on several aspects.
We are doing these workshops to sensitize the athletes, one, of their rights, two, of what's happening around issues on doping, athletes safeguarding, gender-based violence, which is a very important thing happening now after what happened to our Rebecca Cheptegei. But we are going to be holding these workshops every year because we receive $10,000 from the IOC every year. So it's up to us to apply for these workshops and then we run them. So the more frequent we do them, the more athletes that we impact. So that's the role and that's the target.
The workshop at Nobview Hotel in Tinda is attended by the creme de la creme of Uganda's athletes and graced by several high-profile sports administrators.
So as they are here, they will learn different things, they will share experiences, networking and the like. And we believe that by the time they go away from here, they will be a whole athlete. And what some of my advice to the athletes is that they should think about dual career.
The athletes will benefit from several topics like the background of Olympism, athlete safeguarding, gender-based violence, and the athlete career.
The subjects on life after sport, I'm going to get in now and do facilitation on giving them tools to prepare them for life after sport. Because sometimes we forget these athletes and then they die away and we don't know what they're doing.
And of course, that was a story about empowering Ugandan athletes. And this is due to the fact that the Uganda Olympic Committee Athletes Commission hosted a 2-day workshop for these athletes. Of course, it intended to help these athletes through their sports career and life after. Now, moving on to tennis. This 2024, the Uganda Tennis Association Friday launched the 2024 ITF Men's World Tennis Tour to be played in Kampala.
Kampala City is set to host the 2024 ITF Men's World Tennis Tour M25 and M15 this October. This international event that was last played here in 2019 will have over 30 male players fighting for ATP ranking points and a grand prize of $25,000 and $15,000 respectively.
Over the next 2 weeks, between 60 to 80 players ranked just below 300 in the world. These are people who will be breaking into the top ranks, 200 and above, in the next 1 or 2 years. Most of them will do that. So that level of exposure to our junior and upcoming players here is tremendous. Of course, as a country as a whole, we bring a lot of promotion to Uganda. If you go to the ITF website now, Uganda is there.
High-level tennis, as you have been briefed earlier, this is a level between juniors and the professionals, so we expect a very high level of tennis over the next 2 weeks. We have set up the facility very well. We have resurfaced some of the courts. We have put in place security, and we have all the amenities that the players might need. In the course of the 2 weeks here, they'll be able to enjoy facilities like the swimming pool, the gym, and this will help them have a very good tournament.
ITF Men's World Tennis Tour is an entry level for professional tennis players and a pathway between the junior and elite levels. The results of this particular event will be incorporated into the ATP rankings, which will enable players to progress to ATP Challenger Tours, ATP Tours, and ultimately Grand Slams. Team Uganda will have players Simon Ayala, Frank Taewa, and Trevor Kaziwe.
Team is initially ready to compete in this event because we have been training really very hard. The players have been going through the strength and conditioning training. They have been going through physiologist training to make sure that they are mentally trained and focused for this event. I think they are really so much engaged and ready to compete in this
ITF Men's World Tennis Tour M25 and 15 will be played between the 7th and 20th of October at Kampala Club in Uganda, with qualifiers slated for 6th October. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
Well, as we wind up our bulletin, let's have the recap on our headlines. Museveni and First Lady Janet Museveni meet, restore international fisheries. UPDF reunites Congolese women and children with their families. Uganda to host the 2024 ITF Men's World Tennis Tour. Well, that's it from us. Thank you so much for allowing us into your space. My name is Patricia Lukoma. Mugalo Mohammed has been with us on sign language. Please stay tuned. Let's meet again at 10 o'clock.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Uganda fire! Endiva fire! Our border fire!
Uganda! Thank you for showing your fire! As Uganda Crane showed Congo, why number is called a Katiro? Mayuwa wa mobili Gabuli Joe! Katika Uganda Crane 6 on South Sudan on the 11th of October. Bring more fire and support even had that number. 0 hash or go to buy ticket on the Momo app to get your discounted ordinary ticket at 20k on Momo. And it comes with a free train ride to Nambole. Cash is 25k. Game starts at 7 p.m. The first 2 Nel special beers go for 1k each. When you buy with Momo at MTN Gavut Day. Uganda Queen's Fire! MTN Fire! Proudly brought to you by MTN, the #1 supporter of Uganda's football. Together, truly unstoppable.
Amazina ganje Inyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco Induga mu district ya Rukungiri byo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 hash ngafuna message erikweka mu byo muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo nedi y'abafere sente ziriyo zone bakaziteka ngo nazihangwire.
Uganda Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
Oh my God, Muta! When did you go? Where are you? Segawa?
I am far and well off. For 2 years now, I'm in Dubai making serious
Muta, some money.
Come, we make the money. Yes.
But seriously, man, how did you find a job abroad? I've been robbed for so many times by these fraudsters.
But Segawa, don't you know that our government has already made bilateral agreements with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan and the United Arab Emirates? Through the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, the government licenses and monitors all companies to take people that work abroad.
Are you serious?
Yes, because man, they're fraudsters.
So I need to find a legit recruitment company that is licensed by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and
Social Development.
Oh my God! Hey, I can't wait to make this money, bro!
Come, we make the money.
yeah, man, I'm coming.
Avoid fraudsters. Be sure to contact a company licensed by the Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development. Don't gamble with life. Make sure you work with a licensed recruitment company. There are 2 companies that have been licensed to recruit and deploy Ugandans to work abroad. Visit eemis.mglsd.go.ug or contact the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development or the Labour Officer of your district.
At Uganda Development Bank, we are committed to empowering communities by supporting projects that unlock excellent economic benefits for Ugandans through job creation, tax contribution, output value, and foreign exchange. We seek partnerships with Project Statement in Uganda.
Wana tudiringa mu mwanyi kulima mwanyi famu ya feno eri ku bugazi bwa hika 125 mwanyi za za myaka ebiri kati wetwatana okusimba adi wetwatandikira twatandika ne hika 10 wetwatandika hika 10 twakola nga pilot project hakata aho esente zali ntono nga gwo chimanyi wano mu Uganda kati nasalawo okutukira UDB kati bwatukira UDB newe tebaba babibi sente bakola ki bazi tuweereza kati ne tutandika guno mulimu gwomukola ki gwe mulaba kati mukutane guno mulimu gwe mulaba tuguze mu bingi kwangu laba tuli ku drip system then kanu katwakata Israeli eleze sente zimu okuva Israeli then nokutuyamba mu bakozi okusema the reservoir nezi no control rooms nzagola bagwe generator wateba jona yaba jona mu UDB wano ngaba libona abalone mu Uganda waliwo abesobola balima batesobola batokire UDB banga etuyambye netwa buli kimu okutwaliza wamu mu UDB tufunyemu.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Yes, a very good evening to you tuned into UBC TV. We thank you so much for following all our programs and welcome to this specific one of this week. My name is Patricia Lukoma, and this time round we're going to talk about the incident where we lost over 30 lives in Chitezi. It is because of it that we're going to look at something, but it's going to be the basis. We lost those lives when a heap of garbage slid onto their houses. Some of them, we hear they were working because there were people who were picking bottles and plastics from this garbage. We hear those are the people that ended up dying in that incident. But when you look at it, it points at a number of things. Planning, which is one may say it's poor. How do we absorb this garbage? How landfills like that of Chitezi? Do we have any other alternatives? Things like that. Now, I'm going to talk to a senior leader, and you will know, let me just mention why. When this problem came up, currently Kampala is grappling with garbage. Every center in the suburbs has a heap of garbage or heaps of garbage. People don't have where to take it. Why? It started with the people of Dondo in Mukono, who said, no, much as you have land here, don't bring your garbage this side. We can't tolerate what happened in Chitezi to happen here. KCCA tried Entebbe side. The guys there also said, please keep your garbage. We don't have enough space to handle yours and ours. And the last people were Nansana municipality, who also said, please handle your problem. Now, we have a senior leader. She stays in Dondo. She's part of the community that is in scare that the Chitezi problem may be transferred to their place. But as well, she's somebody knowledgeable with whom we can share ideas about how garbage management. She can give us examples of how other countries are doing it and suggest other scientific kind of modules of how this can be handled. She's not a new face on this show. Her name is Her Excellency Dr. Speciosa Wandera Kaziwe Nalongo Chavita.
Naigaga.
I don't forget Chavita. You told me it is a very special name. Who gave it to you?
My grandfather.
You told me
that is my traditional baptismal name.
Yes, you told me.
They threw 2 chicks on the heart, and the one called the Chavita is the one which came down. That's how I was baptized, even before they put water on my forehead.
We're happy to be here.
Thank you.
How is everything? How have you been since the last time we talked?
First of all, I would like okubagiza abantu abafiirwa abantu baabwe n'abo abaana abaafa baana baffe kubanga they were trying to get something to live on. But I'm quite busy. I'm focusing things now. That is in Uganda here. I'm working with volunteers in Busoga, and these include government workers and people from all sectors to look at how we can eradicate malaria from Busoga. And when I'm in the country, that's where I am most of the time. But
there are times when you are not in the country.
Yes, I'm supporting the African Union to coordinate. All players are doing something to support Sudan go back to normality, because they are killing each other. It's not even a war with outsiders. They are just killing each other. People are displaced. So I'm one of people. One is from Ghana, another one is very senior Africans, Pan-Africanists, another one is from Mozambique. We are doing that work.
Trying to focus peace
for Sudan. It's called the High-Level Panel, the African Union High-Level Panel on bringing peace to Sudan.
Will you handle?
Well,
on the latest I've just read.
Yes, you know,
will you handle, and how simple is your work?